FM for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Inflation has jumped 3.8%, fastest climb in 3 years. The government says consumer prices are going up because of energy costs linked to the war in Iran. CBS's Mugo Odigwe.
A White House spokesperson responded to the new data, saying President Trump has always been clear about the temporary disruptions the war with Iran would cause. The statement goes on to say the administration remains laser focused on delivering growth and affordability for Americans.
CBS's Jill Schlesinger has more on the April numbers.
Gas is up 28.4% from a year ago. And one area that bears watching is electricity, which was up 2.1% month over month. That's up 6.1% from a year ago, perhaps due to the big demand for electricity for these new AI data centers. This report, combined with last week's jobs report, puts the Federal Reserve in a position where they're unlikely to lower interest rates anytime soon.
Pentagon officials revealed today the cost of the Iran war now tops $29 billion. Defense Secretary Hegseth testifying on Capitol Hill.
The $1.5 trillion budget request put forward by the president will build upon the historic $1 trillion FY26 top line and will continue to reverse the 4 years of underinvestment and mismanagement of the Biden administration.
The search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mother, Nancy, has now been going on for 100 days. CBS's Anna Schechter says a strand of DNA is being tested by the FBI.
They're taking that partial DNA that they have determined is not Nancy Guthrie's, is not anybody who worked at the home, is not any family member, and they are trying to find in genealogy company websites a partial DNA match. That is painstaking work.
Well, two companies linked to the ship that hit the Key Bridge 2 years ago in Baltimore, causing the deadly collapse, have been indicted on criminal charges. U.S. Attorney Kelly Hayes.
The indictment alleges that if the Dolly had been using the proper fuel supply pumps, then the vessel would have regained power in time.
CBS's Michael Wallace reports the maker of a weight loss drug is touting a new higher dose.
Novo Nordisk says its new weekly 7.2 milligram injection of Wegovy, which launched in the U.S. last month, helps certain patients lose 15% of their weight after 6 months, before going on to lose a total of 28% after a year and a half. Prior to the new dose, the largest had been 2.4 milligrams, which helped patients lose 18% of their weight.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 195 points. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
2 homicides have now made arrests by Seattle police. But first, let's get a check on the roads at the KIRO Radio News Desk. Better way to Seattle right now, about 32 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, about 27 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, a little heavy right now, about 44 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO News Radio Desk.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. An arrest has been made in the death of a popular employee at the Growler Guys in Lake City. Q was shot and killed over the weekend. According to Seattle police, detectives arrested a 20-year-old man just yesterday. Police booked the suspect into the King County Jail for investigation of murder. Seattle police have arrested a suspect in last week's homicide at a Mount Baker encampment. Officers were called to a homes encampment just west of the Mount Baker light rail station near Rainier Avenue South and MLK Way on Thursday. The 46-year-old suspect was booked into the King County Jail yesterday. The city of Seattle is now projecting an almost $500 million budget deficit over the next 3 years. In a recent interview on the Seattle Channel, Mayor Katie Wilson said her team is looking at creating more taxes.
I think capital gains tax is absolutely on the table, but realistically, the revenue that we would be raising through that is not huge, right? It's probably in the low double digits.
Mayor Wilson's budget director, Ali Panucci, says their new projections are based on a combination of things. Permanent housing for the homeless is more expensive, public safety services are also more expensive, and salaries for city workers are higher, and not to mention inflation. The North Shore School Board has voted to end School Resource Officer program at Bothell High School.
The motion fails.
This is a sham.
The decision comes after months of debate over public safety, student well-being, and the role police should play on campus. Some parents and students argued the SRO made them feel safer, while others said police presence can be intimidating and unnecessary. Now to your KIRO News Radio weather. It's going to be warm today, a scorcher by May standards. Highs will be close to 80. Right now, it's about 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. It is Tuesday, May 12th, and we could have record-breaking temperatures today. The sun is peaking, as G likes to say, but it could just be one last day before we get into some rainy, cloudy weather. How you doing, G?
Good morning. Jeez. I'm doing great. Ready for a big show today. Man, let's go. I'm great. I'm looking forward to, I heard it's going to be 80-something degrees out there. Like you said,
potentially, we could break a record.
Yeah, that would be.
And then it's going to change.
Yeah, that's good. We got a lot of stuff, Ursula. Obviously, we're talking about my main man, Luke Ducey's going to come in and going to talk about, oh my goodness, the mayor of Seattle, Katie Wilson, expects a larger budget deficit.
Yeah, we're talking about some big dollars, even worse than originally. So what's going to happen? Are we going to be seeing some new taxes?
Yeah.
Are we going to be seeing cuts?
My question is I'm going to go back. We're going to go back to what the former mayor, Bruce Harrell, had laid out. And then it seems like, man, okay. So, yeah, interesting stuff. But let's get to it, Ursula. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
And speaking of the Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson, Howard Schultz is accusing her of turning the city against the very companies that helped build it. So he's got this blistering Wall Street Journal opinion piece, and the former Starbucks CEO says Mayor Wilson is embracing socialist rhetoric and is treating business as a foil rather than a partner. So one of the things that he references is her infamous rallying cry last November. Just days after she was elected, she joined striking Starbucks workers on the picket line and called for a boycott. And we should have some sound here, but for some reason it's not coming through. She also made another comment earlier this year when talking about extracting more money from taxpayers to pay for housing programs.
Mm-hmm. Because you know what? This city is filthy rich. There's a lot of wealth here. There's a lot of money here.
So a lot of wealth here, a lot of filthy rich people here. And then our most recent comment just a couple of weeks ago, G, during a Q&A at Seattle U.
I think the claims that millionaires are going to leave our state are like super overblown, and if the ones that leave, like bye.
So in his op-ed, Howard Schultz argues that this kind of hostility toward major employers is risking jobs, risking investment and innovation in the process. And he points out that Starbucks has already moved some corporate jobs out of Seattle. And he says other companies are also reconsidering their future here. It's kind of the same drumbeat.
Yeah. Howard Schultz isn't wrong, but just a reminder who we're talking about here with Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz is the same person that sold the Sonics 18 years ago. We don't have the Sonics here today because of Howard. Howard Schultz is the same person who just recently said he was packing up for Miami because of the millionaire's tax. I need Howard Schultz to just worry about Florida in the sunshine. I'm just tired of hearing from him, period. Now, as for the mayor, Katie Wilson, you know what, Ursula, them comments on Starbucks is going to haunt her probably the entire time that she's in office. Here is someone who never managed a company. Here is someone who never really managed a payroll. Here is someone who has never signed the front of the check. You notice how I said that? Has never signed the front of the check for a lot of people. And it is further proof that Seattle, I would like for Seattle going forward to understand, right? I don't want to hear from disconnected billionaires like Howard Schultz. And we also don't want to see untested politicians. This is why we're here right now.
Agree. And whether you love Howard Schultz or you can't stand him, he is making great points. Look at downtown. It's struggling. Office vacancy rates are among the highest in the country right now. Businesses are moving jobs and investment elsewhere. We've talked about Bellevue taking some of Seattle's leftovers, or just basically taking some of the businesses that are like, well, I think we can be more welcomed over here. And for a brand new mayor to come out sounding openly hostile toward major employers is not a sign of leadership. That is being naive. And you're right. I think she's going to have just that much harder of a time to convince people that she doesn't have that activist mentality, but she actually cares both about recognizing that cities need employers and corporations need to pay their fair share, and thriving downtowns are necessary to survive.
I remember before she got in office, and I said this, and I don't know if you guys remember this. I said, look, a lot of things that's going to happen in Seattle won't always and aren't always because of the mayor, Katie Wilson. This was coming either way.
Yes.
So, and again, to be fair to the mayor, and I said this when she got in office, and this is why it was so important to have experience in this role, because what was happening was already happening. The climate in Seattle, Bellevue picking up a lot of folks coming to Bellevue to pay the leases out there as opposed to Seattle. The business climate hasn't been good. This is why I said it was so important to have experience. Now, you don't have experience, and then to add to the no experience, you have comments like, you shouldn't buy Starbucks because neither am I, and you have comments like about the millionaires leaving, buy. So you have the inexperience on top of the comments equals, man, you in trouble, girl.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of trouble, coming up at 9:30, Luke is going to join us. So now the city's projecting a nearly $500 million budget deficit. Does this mean cuts? What's going to happen over the next couple of years? So a lot going on. But let's move on, because for years, Bothell High School students, we've talked about this, G, they've had a police officer on campus, not just for emergencies, but as someone who many kids say they trust when life gets really tough. But now, after a 4-1 vote by the North Shore School Board last night, that long-running school resource officer program is coming to an end. And there were supporters who packed last night's meeting. They warned the district is losing more than just a badge in the hallway. Bothell High School has actually had an SRO for more than 30 years, and the current cop has spent nearly a decade building those relationships on campus. So listen to this tearful parent who spoke with KIRO 7 TV after the meeting.
Very disappointing. I hope that people remember this when they vote next time. We need a whole new school board.
Your thought for the kids?
I'm sorry, kids. These adults have failed you.
Bothell High was the only school in the North Shore District that still had a traditional full-time SRO assigned to a campus, so I would argue that these other schools had already given up on the idea and had failed kids, according to this parent.
That parent did exactly what I was going to do. Is I was going to tell everyone on behalf of all of the adults, hey, kids, I'm sorry. We keep failing y'all. We fail y'all every single day. I don't know if it's because we're disconnected. I don't know if it's because we just don't care. But we enter into this social contract to be like, hey, it's about the kids first. And I would really love to know, this was 4 people decided to be like, nah, we want them gone. I would love to know what their background is. I would love to know if they've ever had a time when they've had a child or a loved one go to an officer and say, I'm scared. I need help. I'm not even going and talking about school shootings. I'm not doing that. I'm not talking about how in the last 5 years in the United States of America, there have been more school shootings in the last 5 years than there were the previous 15. I'm not going there. I'm just talking about a simple gesture. Do they know what it's like for sometimes the little crack and everything where sometimes the officer is there to pick that situation up, or that officer is there to have a calm and a peace? Or do these four get on there and maybe have subscribed to the rhetoric of defund the police? Because the current mayor that we have of Seattle, not that this is Bothell, she used to be on the defund the police train.
Well, there was this big push after George Floyd to get rid of SROs on campuses. Seattle has gotten rid of theirs, right? The idea of having a cop on campus doesn't always make people feel safe. There are some students who feel, I heard the comment about the schools to prison pipeline and how they worry that the symbolism of a police officer on campus would just perpetuate that. Chef's back, and we've been trying to get interviews every single week, and we're going to try to get someone from Bothell High School. I think that would be great to get a school board member to explain from the North Shore School District why did you get rid of this program. But they're not alone. So I looked into it, and I told you Seattle already got rid of theirs, but there are schools, Everett, Snohomish School District, Lake Washington School District, Kent School District, still have SROs, Puyallup, Tumwater, Bellevue. So there are schools that are still hanging on to them, but it seems like more and more they're removing them from campus. And
the parents begged them.
Begging.
The staff begged them.
Yes.
Everybody begging them. Imagine sitting there, Ursula, and all of the people sitting there begging, and you're like, nah, because when I was in college, I wrote a thesis statement and I did a term paper on exactly this. And I believe that what I learned in college is the reason why we should not have SRO.
That's the school prison pipeline term paper, I believe. And some people truly believe that. Okay, we'll move on. Because if someone wanted to put 5-story tall electric transmission towers in your front yard to power new AI data centers, how much would they have to pay you? You think? Like, what would the cost of that be for you? Like, what would make it worth it for you?
Well, I have a choice. I realize I have a choice because I know what history tells me, right? Because when people say they're not going to sell, then they put the eminent domain there. And I just know that either I better live in Laurelhurst, I better live in Medina, I better live in, different
Mercer
areas.
Island.
And Mercer Island would be one. But you can go ahead and continue the story.
Because in Grant County, one family may be forced to accept only $2,400. This comes from the Seattle Times. The AI boom is creating a massive demand for electricity in central Washington, especially in the town of Quincy, where Microsoft already operates 21 data center buildings. Last year alone, they accounted for 37% of all electricity used in Grant County. And now the PUD over there wants to build 6 new transmission lines to double the county's power capacity. And the quickest route cuts straight through private farms and some residential properties. Some homeowners say it feels like theft. For example, one family could lose 1/3 of an acre of their front lawn for a one-time payment of $2,400.
Yeah. Ursula, I believe that if you were to go to sleep in 1920 and wake up in 2026, I'd say the only thing that might be different is that you might be your physical appearance. Other than that, the climate of this world is no different. But you know what? You love numbers and figures. I wanted to give something for you. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, eminent domain, right, has displaced African Americans 5 times more often than our representation in the population. 5 times. Let's go to Renton, 1968. The Houston family. It was a black family. They refused to sell 10 acres back then. This is a story. It's a very popular story that happened in Renton. 2 houses burned down. A 3rd one was destroyed by an explosive device. George Houston couldn't read or write. He signed an X on the dotted line out of fear. The school they needed the land for, it was never built, and the district flipped it for a profit. Now, here we are today, and we're talking about trillion-dollar companies. And you and I, we talked about the data centers, and we said before, this won't happen in nice neighborhoods. And somebody might say, well, why won't it happen in nice neighborhoods? Do you see what happened when helicopters was trying to land by Lawhurst? Do you know how fast these nice neighborhoods, they got lawyers. They got political power. They got money. You see, in these other neighborhoods where they take advantage of people, they don't have the representation. So this is going to happen.
Now it's farmers in Grant County.
No question.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all know if and when it does happen, here's what's going to happen. Years from now, Ursula, 20 years from now, you know what they're going to slap on this? A land acknowledgement. And say we're sorry for what we did in the past, and we want to acknowledge the farmers.
You're not going to get any money out of it.
Because
but we'll acknowledge that we did
every
this.
time we do something on Grant County, we want to read the land acknowledgement for what we did to these amazing people.
I agree with you, but we're also at a point where we still have the opportunity to say no.
Yeah,
Grant County is like basically on the leading edge of what's happening across the United States. And unless people pay attention to this stuff and there's some outcry about it, it will happen. It is inevitable if we do nothing. Yeah. But we do have an opportunity right now.
And we are, on this show, we've brought this up now several times because there is a proposal to cite some new ones in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's paying attention to the current climate of what's going on in this country. There's a lot of people that are making noise. The problem is you don't have the money or the political power. Mm-hmm. And what's happening is if you don't have the political power, they are redrawing maps and gutting voting rights acts in this country right now.
This is true.
What's going to be done is going to be done. They're playing for keeps.
That's very true. Okay, let's squeeze one more story in here because there are 3 teenagers who are now facing felony charges after what started as a bizarre TikTok trend turned into a break-in at Seattle's Church of Scientology. So Seattle Times is reporting this all happened on Saturday afternoon in Uptown, where about 30 people showed up outside this church as part of a viral speed run challenge, basically trying to see how far they can get inside Scientology buildings before security stops them. And there are videos of people doing this all around the country, and they've racked up millions of views online. But Seattle police say this one went way beyond just a simple prank. One teen used a crowbar to try to force his way inside. Several eventually broke through a door, got into the building, and even shut off the power by flipping off the main circuit breaker. Church staff reportedly were freaking out, sheltered upstairs while waiting for police. So these 3 teens, between the ages of 16 and 17 were arrested, and they were booked on burglary and hate crime allegations. One is also accused of felony harassment after reportedly threatening a woman with a crowbar. The Church of Scientology says it welcomes lawful visitors, but not mobs damaging their property for views on social media.
I don't know what to say. Like, I read this, and I could go, Ursula, I could go with where are the parents? I can go with that.
I know. Yeah. What about the hate crime enhancement?
Yeah. I mean, that part of it too.
I'm for it.
Oh,
I think it sends a message.
No, I'm for giving them everything.
Yeah.
No question. Hate crimes. You got the crowbar. You doing all that kind of threatening folks and all that.
And what's with stupid kids trying to get views on social media and going to this extent? It's like they're forgetting. It's like life is a game.
Yeah.
Until it's not, and you do things that are so stupid for views, and you are committing felony crimes, potential hate crime charges. I say send a message. You don't get a free pass just because you want to get social media views.
I want to tell you something, Ursula. I don't know. I was just thinking about when you were just talking. I don't know what it was when I was growing up.
But
inside
a police officer, dad,
just in the church, just in the church period. Like something about. And if you're listening right now, can you relate to this? Like, there's things that I would do outside the church that I would not do inside the church. You know what I'm saying? I was scared. Inside the church, I wouldn't even put a peep.
I know.
I would see something on the ground, I pick it up, trash, everything. I was on my best behavior inside the church.
You wanted those pearly gates to open with a welcome.
That way on my resume, when I pull up to him, and he'd be like, listen, when you was in 4th grade, you know what you did inside the church? All right. Hey, 9:47, we're going to do Would You Rather. And Our very own KIRO News reporter, Luke Ducey, is going to come in, and the topic is talking about Mayor Katie Wilson and expecting a larger budget deficit. But there's some numbers that kind of need to be sorted out. So we do that next. Gee Ursula.
We've kind of painted ourselves into a corner.
He's the high-ranking Trump official who quit over the Iran war.
I don't know if Trump's going to be able to get himself out of it.
And now he's sounding alarms.
We could easily look at Iraq. Is that not what's waiting for all of us in Iran?
The problem is you just magnify everything times 10 because Iran is just so big.
Former Director of National Counterterrorism Joe Kent, exclusively on the John Curley Show. See the entire interview on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our kids zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Some people out there love to do things entirely on their own. Others ask for help and trust their resources. When involved in an auto accident, you've got the choice of dealing with insurance on your own or hiring an attorney. I'm joined in studio by Harold D. Carr. He represents Harold Carr Law Offices. Harold, what's one of the main reasons for seeking representation?
If you were to look at statistics, most people end up with a lot less recovery when they don't have a law firm representing them.
And why should they hire Harold Carr Law Offices?
We're not shy about bringing lawsuits. We do try to settle, and insurance companies know that. They know that we're fair in how we talk to them. The answer is really, we are very professional. But we've had cases, big and small, where we've had to take it into litigation, and about 98% of those will settle in mediation. A lot more than the client originally expected.
Visit carlaw.com. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
My name is Skip, and Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland helped me with my small business administration loan. With her help, I was able to keep my small business open, and she can help you too. Please contact Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland's office at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov for help. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
John Curley here. You know a smart thing to do right now? Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Choose a Lennox cooling system and get a heating system free. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Federal prosecutors have charged the operator of the container ship that crashed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge 2 years ago. CBS's Michael Wallace has more.
An indictment unsealed today charges the Singapore and India-based operations of Synergy Marine and an employee on the ship with failing to inform the Coast Guard of a known hazardous condition, false statements, and obstructing an agency proceeding. The ship, the MV Dolly, lost power and slammed into the bridge, causing it to collapse. 6 construction workers who were filling potholes on the span were killed.
A new bridge, which may have cost more than $5 billion, is expected to be ready by 2030. Starbucks is laying off 61 employees at its Seattle headquarters in Soto. The company says the cuts are tied to a reorganization of the company's technology department. The layoffs will begin June 20th and wrap up by late August. Starbucks has said Seattle will remain its global headquarters even as the company expands operations in Nashville. Seattle's long-promised light rail extension to Ballard is now running a decade behind schedule. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas was at last night's community meeting.
There's still no timetable or construction funds set aside.
I'm going to die before they build this damn train.
For Peter, it's about sustainability for the next generation.
Transportation pollution is our #1 source of carbon pollution, and we need to get a lot of people on transit.
But when it comes to logistics,
we've got to try to make it work as best we can.
Washington State Representative Julia Reed suggested the possibility of federal funding, while King County Councilmember Jorge Barone touted the project as a win for the region, not just his constituents.
Sound Transit Board directors are expected to vote on the new Enterprise Initiative on May 28th. Gun violence in King County continued to fall in the first quarter of this year.
According to the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, during the first 3 months of 2026, there were 51 shooting victims. 9 of them died. In all, there were 204 shots fired incidents. That's 28% fewer than in the first quarter of 2025, and it's the lowest number since the first quarter of 2020.
That was KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay. Could the next owner of the Seahawks want to build a new stadium? ESPN's Seth Wickersham tells 710 Sales Sports it could be a factor as the bidding war for the franchise emerges.
And a new stadium has the potential to bring in ancillary and maybe even vast new revenue streams that the owners would mostly benefit from.
But the prospect of a new stadium could also be keeping potential owners away. Wickersham reports the Seahawks sale is not drawing as much interest as expected. He says the multi-billion-dollar price tag for the franchise plus a stadium project could be just too much of a risk. Now to your KIRO News Radio traffic. There is a crash on I-5 northbound causing significant delays from Federal Way to Seattle. That drive will take you about 50 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 27 minutes. And there's heavy traffic on 405 southbound. Linwood to Bellevue will take you about 53 minutes right now. And this traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO News Radio app. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. And for your weather, sunshine and warm weather is on the way. Highs will be close to 80. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate you hanging out with us on this Tuesday morning. And coming up at 9:47, we are going to play our world famous Would You Rather. And Gee, your Would You Rathers have been kind of tough lately.
Yeah.
You've been going deep.
Yeah, the last two have been a little,
heavy.
Yeah. Allie in Tacoma, I think she complained too.
Oh, she did?
No, she did. I just throw her under the bus.
Okay. Hey, but we're going to talk about Seattle's already dismal financial picture because word is it could be getting a lot worse. Mm-hmm. And we want to know, what is Mayor Katie Wilson going to do about it? And our reporter Luke Ducey is here to dive into that.
Yeah, so this kind of almost flew under the radar. This was from an interview with the Seattle Channel, not too long ago, a few days ago. We referred to that interview for some other things, and then we dove deeper into it, and we had seen it earlier, and now we're talking about it. So the city of Seattle is now projecting an almost $500 million budget deficit across the next 3 years, which surpasses Mayor Bruce Harrell's projections by about $113 million more now is being projected for in these budget deficits for the next 3 years. So in an interview with the Seattle Channel that I just mentioned recently, Mayor Wilson said her team is looking at new creative ways to tax, to raise revenue.
I think capital gains tax is absolutely on the table, but realistically the revenue that we would be raising through that is not huge, right? It's probably in the low double digits.
So that's one tax, capital gains, but they're also looking at other possible taxes. This was Wilson at a recent public Q&A at Seattle University.
If the city can do a local income tax, I'm very willing to explore that.
Now we're talking about an income tax as well, and Wilson's team says they will most likely now need to make budget cuts, and that could include laying off city workers.
The Washington Post, I came across this article where they warned that Seattle was about to run a real-time experiment in radical governance, they said, under a mayor with no meaningful management experience. Maybe from what you've heard or who you've talked to, right now she's running a nearly $9 billion budget here in Seattle and has never ran anything close to this. Now, how is her team, when she's never even ran a budget like this, plan to navigate this deficit budget? Because it seems like something's not added up, and it almost seems like this could expose her inexperience even more. What's her team, and what have you heard being said?
Yeah, especially with that $113 million difference between what they adopted as the projected deficit and what they have right now in their general fund budget. Also, it's $2 billion has been added to the deficit since 2016.
Okay, and why is this happening?
Well, for a lot of different reasons. To answer your question, Gee, and yours as well, Ursula, Wilson and her city budget director, Ali Panucci, are explaining that, look, things like public safety are hugely expensive right now. Salaries are more expensive for employees. They pointed several times in this interview to inflation as a cause. It keeps going higher and higher. Things are more expensive for the city to purchase as well. And they also said, their cost of their plan to create permanent housing for the homeless is becoming more and more expensive as well. When asked by Brian Callahan, the moderator in the Seattle Channel during the interview, where they could cut and how they could cut, well, here's what he asked Panucci.
Does it mean the city is spending beyond its means? I know a lot of people have asked me that question.
I don't think it's spending beyond the means. We're delivering services that people need, and the costs of those services are more than our property taxes, our sales taxes, all the fees that support the city.
So the answer to both of your questions is, it looks like they're telling us what their answer is, that the expenses are growing and growing and growing, but when it comes to cuts, they will have to have budget cuts, but are they overspending? Should they cut even more? And the answer is no, we're not.
Well, I have a different answer.
Sure.
The answer is yes. The answer is what we do when we have a budget that doesn't match up. When the math isn't mathing, you say, well, it's time to tighten the budget, not continue to ask for more money from taxpayers who, okay, I get it. I get it. There are some people who are filthy rich in the city of Seattle or the Seattle area. But let's just talk specifically Seattle, because Mayor Wilson has said people here are filthy rich. Sure, there are some who are filthy rich, but there are also some who really cannot make ends meet and cannot be taxed anymore. And this idea that we're just going to keep going back to the trough and keep trying to squeeze more money out of taxpayers instead of looking at where am I going to make some serious cuts? I heard you say, yeah, they're looking at potential cuts, but they're also looking at a sales tax specific to Seattle.
Which they may not be able to do because it may be illegal. I know that the county, for instance, can't do that. However, the point is that they're looking at how can we raise taxes in different places to start filling those
because
holes.
that seems to be the default, and I'm just giving my opinion. That's the default position.
That's what they're saying.
I'm going to piggyback off of what Ursula said because the cuts. Because remember, there was a time where she recently was saying, hey, probably every department would have to model between a 5 to 10% cut. I don't know if you guys remember that was being proposed out there. Now, lately, for some reason, publicly, she only talks about the potential of new taxes. Public safety right now is about 50% of the general fund here in Seattle. However, she previously endorsed the solidarity budget, which proposed a 50% cut to SPD, right? That whole deal. So I'm actually want to know what is being talked about? What's actually on the chopping block? Because it doesn't seem like there is a clear answer on that.
It's a good question. That's like the $1 million question now that's coming up, and as we get closer to next year, because we don't have an answer to that. But when asked if they could cut $175 million right now to balance next year's budget, here was one of the answers, and she also touched on a program that she has been championing since it was a part of her campaign as well, was right. To combat homelessness. So in this answer, you're going to hear kind of where they think they can cut and can't cut, and if it's feasible altogether to cut $175 million to balance the budget.
I'm the first to say that we need to do better at how we are spending the funding that we spend on homelessness, but there is no world in which we need less funding for homelessness.
So they're probably not going to cut there. Can they reach $175 million in cuts? And the answer to that was absolutely. That's crazy. We can't do that. So that means it's going to be a combination that they're looking at of new tax revenue and cuts.
And let's just point out again that the King County Regional Homelessness Authority, of which most of the budget there comes from the city of Seattle, that audit showed some serious problems with how that money is being spent and allocated and not tracked. So I think one of the biggest things that the city of Seattle could do is do a better job of auditing where the current money in the budget is going.
Yeah.
Luke Ducey, Luke Ducey, always appreciate you coming in. We got to bring you in on another episode of The Spin. That's what we got to do. Bring you in here pretty soon. Hey,
thanks
Ursula, appreciate it. Before we get to Would You Rather, I just want to say this to you. This is going to be interesting. And it's interesting because this mayor is are going to be depending on the same millionaires that you said bye to. Going to be depending on the same folks like Starbucks that you told people not to buy.
Yeah.
Ursula, how are they going to bridge that gap? How?
No, I mean, digging out of a hole and then taxing all of us.
Coming up next, Would You Rather?
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Yeah, hi. So I've noticed my lights flickering and breakers tripping. Should I be worried?
That could be a sign your electrical panel's outdated or unsafe.
Oh.
But don't worry, we can send an electrician out fast. We'll inspect your panel, make sure everything's safe, and if it needs upgrading, we'll walk you through your options.
Thanks.
Don't wait until it's too late. Schedule your electrical safety inspection today at cmheating.com. And remember, for panel upgrades, repairs, and all your electrical needs,
There's no beating CM Heating.
CMH EA HL754L3.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
Voted best of Western Washington. Ranked #1 senior living community in America. Aegis Living, Washington's most luxurious assisted living and memory care. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Just letting you know at 10 o'clock, what if I told you that there are some officers in a particular department here in the state of Washington that were living in Idaho, and somehow there's some weird fraud connected to their overtime? Wait till you hear this story. We'll do that next at 10, but right now, it's time for the world-famous Would You Rather. Ursula, I told you this question is going to be a good one.
Can't wait.
Would you rather have Katie Wilson as mayor for even another 4 years after the 4 years she's about to do, or have Mayor Bruce Harrell for life?
I'll have Mayor Bruce Harrell for life. Gee, what are you doing? You're just ensuring that we never get Mayor Wilson on the show. What the heck are you doing?
That's my bad. That's my bad.
Okay.
I apologize. You know, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Would you rather, let's see here. Where did it go? There we go. Would you rather attend a Seahawks game in the rain or a Mariners game in 95-degree heat with no shade?
Give me the heat with no shade.
Give me the rain.
Seriously, no, I can't do it.
95-degree heat with no shade?
Yeah. I mean, no shade, but I would still be able to go, to the snack bar and go get snacks and things.
Okay.
And get shade.
All right.
Let me speak for the paler folks and say, I'll take the rain. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm taking the rain, no doubt. Would you rather tell a Seattleite that you voted Republican or tell him that you don't recycle?
Gee, what happened to the fun would you rathers?
Okay, I agree. It's not fun for you, but it sure is fun for me.
Okay.
Watching you answer
give me the choices again.
Would you rather tell a Seattleite that you voted Republican, or
I have voted Republican on certain things,
or tell them that you don't recycle?
I'm not telling them I don't recycle. I will. No. We take our recycling very, very seriously.
Jeff, what do you got?
That's impossible. That's impossible.
Okay.
Well, wait. How come I'm the only one answering? What's yours? You have to answer the questions.
I'd rather tell them I voted Republican.
Oh, yeah.
You tell a Seattleite that you don't recycle? Man!
Unless you just moved here, like from Mississippi 3 weeks ago, you don't get a pass on that.
No question. No question. Okay, Ursula, this is a slam dunk for you. Would you rather move to Portland, Oregon, or Boise, Idaho?
Portland, Oregon. I considered moving to Portland before I moved to Seattle.
Did you?
Portland's a great city, despite what you hear in the headlines. Portland's a great city. I'm going to Portland in a couple weeks.
I love Portland.
I've got family
love
there.
Portland. Chef?
Boise, probably. I don't know. Portland's all right, but Boise's an actual change. I love the outdoors in Idaho. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I can deal with Boise.
Boise's a fun little city, too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I thought about Boise State was really, I like Boise. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Back to me being a jerk again. Ursula, would you rather have Russell Wilson back as the Seahawk quarterback or Geno Smith stays forever?
Russell Wilson.
Same. Give me Russell Wilson. I'll take Russ.
I think Geno Wilson had a window where he was good.
Yeah.
But I will take Russell Wilson because I think he truly is someone who, as people call him fake or whatever, I actually think he cares.
I'd like to see the humility arc for Russell, just like up close in person.
Yeah.
That would be satisfying.
Okay, Ursula. Time to make you uncomfortable again. Would you rather, what comes first? No, not what comes first, period. Would you rather see the Seattle Seahawks win another Super Bowl or see the Sonics come back to Seattle? You can only pick one. That means if you pick the Sonics coming back to Seattle, that means you're picking the Seahawks never win a Super Bowl again.
Well, they'll never win the Super Bowl again?
Never. Would you rather the Seahawks win another Super Bowl?
I'll take the Sonics coming back.
Chef?
I basically forgot that they won a Super Bowl this year. I'm not kidding. Like, I think about it, it's like, oh, football game. Like, oh, the Seahawks. I guess they don't play last year. Oh, wait, they won the Super Bowl? Yeah, I'll take the Sonics, man.
How about you?
Ursula, you ever had that friend or that someone in your life, and I don't know if you guys are listening right now, where you've been single so long? Like the Sonic's been gone for 18 years.
Yes.
So, Ursula, I've been single. I've been single for 18 years. I'm used to being single. Seahawks, another Super Bowl. Easy. Easy.
Okay, text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. 888-973 KIRO. Gee, you're getting tough.
Hey, Allie in Tacoma said, oh, man, this is so hard. Okay, coming up here next on the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, what you think of this story right here about to have jaws drop? You think so? Or do you think people are used to stories like this when it comes to overtime fraud with law enforcement?
I'm curious.
I'm curious, too. Yeah,
okay, stick with us.
Do it next. Gee and Ursula.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer's right around the corner. Procrastinators, beware. Valentine Roofing schedule is filling up now, and you don't want to be stuck with the other guys. So call 206 Roofing today, and Valentine can still start your roof in as little as 3 weeks. Then you can enjoy barbecuing on your deck in the backyard without worrying about old shingles falling on your head. So call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprise, just a clear estimate that you can trust. Call 206 Roofing, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value, and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today, and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour, and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Home Comfort Alliance, a Carrier factory authorized dealer delivering efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance every time. John Curley here. Upgrade to Carrier cooling and get a heating system free. Use their 60-second price estimator at homecomfortalliance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Inflation checks in at 3.8% in the latest government look at consumer prices, a 3-year high.
The report shows consumer prices rose sharply last month amid the U.S. war against Iran. A White House spokesman says President Trump has always been clear about temporary disruptions as a result of Operation Epic Fury. And he says the report reinforces how the president's long-term economic agenda, quote, continues to deliver despite these disruptions. The statement cites declines in drug and hospital costs and real wage growth, and adds the administration remains laser-focused on delivering growth and affordability at home while eliminating Iran's nuclear threat. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Authorities now say the man who was struck and killed by a plane taking off at Denver's airport last week intended to end his own life when he scaled a fence and walked onto a runway. They say no note was found and did not specify what led to the conclusion. 2 companies linked to the ship that struck and brought down the Key Bridge in Baltimore 2 years ago have been indicted. The FBI's Jimmy Paul.
The bridge was struck and collapsed because those who were responsible for the ship's operation deliberately cut corners at the expense of safety.
6 workers died in the collapse. No end to the stalemate with Iran. Defense Secretary Hegseth facing Democratic questions today on Capitol Hill.
Is the theory to create more ceasefires or more projects just to evade the War Powers Act?
The theory of the entire case is to prevent Iran from having a nuclear weapon.
Overseas, Britain's prime minister is trying to hold on to his job.
I'm Vicky Barker in London. Keir Starmer has just told his cabinet he will not step down. But after last week's disastrous local election results,
it is now time to go.
More than 70 Labour Party lawmakers like this one have now called on him to step aside. And those who oppose his resignation,
things may only get worse if there's a change at the top.
Hardly a ringing endorsement of a prime minister widely seen to have been ineffective at best. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
New York's governor is reviewing a bill that would ban potassium bromate in the state. That's a chemical in flour used in bakeries and pizzerias for years. CBS News contributor Dr. Mark Hyman.
Pizza and bagels in New York before the 40s had no potassium bromate in it. It makes it more stable, easier to use, and it's sort of a industrial product that's in our food. The problem is it's banned in most other countries, Canada, UK, China, Nigeria.
The Senate confirmed Kevin Warsh to be a governor on the Federal Reserve Board. Wall Street, right now, a down day for stocks. The Dow is off 31 points. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz is calling out Katie Wilson. But first, look at a check on the roads with your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. There is a crash on I-5 northbound causing lots of delays from Federal Way to Seattle. That drive will take you about 55 minutes right now, 27 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. And there's heavy traffic on 405 southbound Lewin to Bellevue. That'll take you about 53 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 firework nights this season presented by T-Mobile. The first show is May 29th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz is going after the city where he built his coffee empire and Mayor Katie Wilson. In a new op-ed, the Wall Street Journal Schultz says Seattle has turned hostile to the very businesses that it calls home, and that's not all. In an interview on the Seattle Channel, Wilson recently highlighted the ongoing partnerships with Challenge Seattle, which is an organization made up of 23 different companies, including Amazon, Microsoft, T-Mobile, Starbucks, to fund housing and homelessness initiatives. Listen to this.
I believe that the city's collaboration with our large corporations to address these problems is very important, and we're doing it.
In March, Schultz announced he was leaving Seattle for Miami, where they have no state income tax. He wrote on his LinkedIn post that he was entering the retirement phase of his life and would be enjoying the sunshine in South Florida. Seattle police have arrested a suspect in the weekend shooting that killed a 25-year-old man at the Growler Guys on Lake City Way. The victim, better known by his nickname Q, was shot inside the tap room on 85th and Lake City Way early Saturday morning. Police want to know why he closed the tap room that night, then returned hours later, maybe with another person. The suspect is now in King County Jail on investigation of murder. A big change is coming to Bothell High School. The North Shore School Board has officially ended its school resource officer program, choosing not to renew its contract with Bothell Police. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Slaw spoke with this parent after last night's vote.
Very disappointing. I hope that people remember this when they vote next time. We need a whole new school board.
Your thought for the kids?
I'm sorry, kids. These adults have failed you.
The district says it will shift funding toward mental health support and other safety measures. Meanwhile, police are searching for a suspect who killed a female student inside a University of Washington off-campus apartment building. Investigators say a young 19-year-old transgender woman was stabbed inside a laundry room at the Nordheim Court Apartments just north of U Village. Students living there are shocked.
It's terrible. And of course, it's scary to be close to that. Every one of us was feeling in disbelief.
We're just kind of scared. I'm not going to lie. We don't really have any information. Just kind of trying to stay inside and be safe and send prayers.
No arrests and no motive so far from police. The suspect is about 5'7" with a slim build, black hair, and a beard, last seen wearing a button-up shirt under a dark blue vest. And your KIRO News weather, we should get close to or above 80 degrees today. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, before I head over to Ursula in a sec, I got a dilemma. So we do Would You Rather every Tuesday, Thursday, 9:47. And now I need to ask you, 888-973-5476. I need to, this is for you. Now, these Would You Rathers have been really difficult for Ursula. However, I'm looking, it seems like you guys respond to them a lot more. So, do I consider my co-host and make them easy, or do I consider you and keep making them a little bit more complex so that way you guys wake up a little bit? Text us and let me know. I'm in a dilemma.
Can I weigh in?
Yeah.
Make it hard for me.
Oh, yes.
And for people who don't know, G does not preview the questions for me, so I am really hearing them for the first time along with you.
And even tomorrow, a good friend tomorrow's like, G, come on now, these are hard.
I know.
All right.
They put me in a spot.
Yes,
but
yes.
I think you enjoy that, and actually,
it's the best. It's the best.
Okay, again, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We've got another packed hour for you, so we are going to get to it.
Mm-hmm. What's new at 10?
Okay, I've got to bring this up, G, because the Seahawks sale rumors, they've been heating up. But one big question hanging over all of it is this. Would a new owner eventually push for a new stadium? Because that's something that we actually briefly touched on Friday when we were saying, hey, there are reports that sales interest or interest in buying the Seahawks is softer than people thought because of the potential of having to include a new stadium. Yeah. Why are we talking about a new stadium?
Well, Ursula, I'm just going to lay these things out there.
Okay.
Does it mean that I agree or disagree with a new stadium? But I want to get you guys let's all get on the same page here. The Los Angeles Rams, the city of L.A., they had a Super Bowl, first one, 2022. This upcoming season, guess where the Super Bowl is, Ursula?
Where?
L.A. They've had 2 Super Bowls within 5 years.
Because they have a really nice stadium.
And it's good weather down there.
Yes.
Right? So in order for Seahawks really to have a chance at a Super Bowl, they would have to get a roof. Okay.
Yes.
Now, let me give you some other numbers.
Okay. But I want to mention one thing, though. Lumen Field only opened in 2002, so it's just, 24 years old. In stadium years, is that old?
I mean, it's old, but I gave you a roof example.
Yes.
And then let me give you another example when it comes to suites. You know, what rich folks be.
Okay.
In the NFL, the average stadium has 157 suites. That makes sense. So it makes some money.
The money. The big money.
Dallas Cowboys, Jerry's World, AT&T Stadium, they have 360 suites. So every game, they make it big bread. As a matter of fact, the Raiders over there, they got a bunch of suites. The owner, they charge $75,000 a game. Here in Seattle, you're talking about 120s on suite. So every single time there's a game, an owner is going to be like, I'm leaving money on the table compared to the other places. I don't know anything. But potentially, if you're thinking about the money, which we all know they love money.
Yes.
So it's 2 things.
You're giving the arguments as to if there's a new owner coming in, they want to know that this is going to be profitable.
Because they're going to pay a price tag of between $6 to $10 billion, right?
Yes.
So if they're going to pay that money, but always pay that money and realize that I'm stuck with only 120-something suites when I'm seeing across the country, the average has 157 suites. That's one, suites. The next thing is roof. Why do I need the roof? Because I want to, if you're an owner, potentially have a Super Bowl in Seattle. Right? So the next Super Bowl after this one in L.A. is going to be in Vegas. The next Super Bowl after this one, after the one in Vegas, is going to be in Atlanta. So what I'm trying to do, Ursula, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just giving you all reasons as to why. Why would he want a new stadium? For that.
Can I give reasons as to why we as taxpayers would not want a new stadium?
Come on.
Because first of all, we're not done paying for Lumen Field just yet. Remember that whole thing about public $300 million through bonds and lottery revenue and taxes?
Yeah.
Well, we're still paying that off. And a new stadium, you're talking about a minimum of $3 to $5 billion in today's market to build. So we're not done paying for the old one, and we're going to take on a new one? How about what Mark in Linwood says?
What did he say?
I have to edit it.
Okay.
Sure, I'll take a new stadium as long as not one tax dollar is spent on it, because the revenue produced by the new stadium, even if you got a Super Bowl every other year, would not pay for that stadium. I'm extremely tired of paying rich people's bills. Let them buy their own
not
stadium.
even their bills, it's their toys.
I just want to say, I started off, Ursula, by telling everyone, I'm not saying it's not whether
I know it's not.
I'm laying it out. Now, let me just give some, hey, Mark in Linwood, let me just politely tell you this. That is always going to be the case. We taxpayers are always going to foot the bill for some. Hey, as a matter of fact, I got one for you, Mark. A lot of us.
How about we not?
I mean, we would love not to, but we don't have a choice because there's billionaires that make it happen. There's rich people that are able to sway votes. There's rich people that have the lobbyists and all that stuff. So to the Mark and Linwoods, I got to tell you this. Here's the part that gets me. Not just the foosball. Let's talk about everything else that happens in that stadium. And you want to know the craziest part? If you're listening right now, text in if you're saying, gee, I can't even afford to go to a game.
Yes, that's a lot.
Gee, I can't even afford to go to a concert. So a lot of the common
we don't want any extra tax-paying dollars to go to a new stadium when the current one is fine.
And you're right. I agree with you. We talk about this all the time, and every other thing that we talk about, Ursula, we talk about every single time when the common worker, common folks are like, hey, I don't want this. And guess what happens? You get it anyway because you don't have a voice. You don't have a vote. You're not a decision maker. The rich folk. Wait.
We do have a voice.
Okay,
we don't have to approve. We don't have to say yes to a new stadium.
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
Public paying for a new stadium.
I'm glad you said that. Can we go back to the beginning of Quest Field when current Lumen Field was? Do you guys remember they voted it down?
Yes, and it happened anyway. Yeah, I know.
Legislature sent our lottery taxes to the stadium, which was supposed to be spent on schools.
So I tell you what, maybe.
Which again,
just maybe,
plays into who do you vote for.
If you're
I'm going to throw that out there.
Well, Ursula, it sounds good. The thing is that if you were buying the Seahawks and you came to Seattle and you did want another stadium, but you look across the NFL and every other place in the NFL, them taxpayers be paying for them stadiums. You mean to tell me you would volunteer to pay your money for a stadium?
Well,
if everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, can I mention what Jesus says? And we'll have to fact check.
What?
But Jesus says SoFi Stadium is the most prominent modern NFL stadium built without direct tax dollars financed by the Rams owner for over $5 billion.
I believe that's true. And also, Climate Pledge Arena was not built with public funding.
And you
Seattle,
know how much we love Climate Pledge.
Seattle voters did the right thing when we rejected paying for a new stadium for the Sonics. And we lost the Sonics. That's a bummer, but you know what? I'd rather lose a team than be on the hook for a new stadium for professional sports franchise.
I'm not willing to go that far.
Okay.
I am. I am. I'm sorry. It's immoral to be building palaces for billionaires when we're talking about on the show. Should we be able to have a police officer in a school? Should schools be able to have overnight trips? What about counselors? Well, we can't afford those.
Yeah, but we can get a brand new $5 billion stadium financed by taxpayers who are already taxed to death. I'm kind of like, read the room.
I just
read the room.
Before you move on, I just want to say this. Is it possible that the topic that we're talking about right now applies to every other topic that we always talk about? Where the people with the most money have the most influence on these topics?
Starting to really just on a daily basis grind my gears.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, when Ursula starts, and let me tell you something, when your family member starts pulling out sayings like "grinds my gears," they are really mad.
Well, and I just, I just look at people coming up, young people coming in, just the
we don't care about the young people.
Yeah, we do. I know.
No, we don't.
Some of us do.
No, we don't.
So, anyway.
Wait, by the way,
okay.
I think people, and I don't know, because sometimes I know you guys get lost in things that I say. You guys are thinking that I am advocating for that.
No. You're just explaining why it is that a potential new owner would want a new stadium.
That's all.
Because dollars and cents, a new stadium would bring them more money while ripping money out of our pockets, which I say find an owner who's okay with Lumen Field, which is perfectly fine. It makes great shots. It works well. It's done well. Just spruce it up a little bit.
You know why billionaires have a lot of money? Because they know how to make money.
And they know how to get money from the public. Gee, the audience should appreciate you for explaining the actual reason why an owner wanted a new stadium, as opposed to trying to convince the audience of why they should want to pay for a new stadium, which is what we usually get. And we're like, what about the jobs and all the other... You don't want to lose the team, do you? So thank you. You're laying it out exactly as you should.
Yes.
All right, we warmed up for this next topic. We got to get to it.
Okay.
We're late.
Yes. Okay, because here's a question.
Okay.
I mean, should it matter whether local law enforcement lives in the community where they work? And when you're contemplating that, should they even live in the same state? And the reason we're bringing this up is because of a report that says a King County Sheriff Sergeant is accused of logging massive overtime hours while allegedly barely responding to calls. And now these allegations are raising questions about oversight, whether there's favoritism, and whether multiple deputies were gaming the system while living in, drum roll, Idaho. King County Sheriff's Department. So this comes from the watchdog site, Divest SPD, and they're reporting that the accusations came from Sergeant David Hogue, who filed a 25-count complaint before retiring from the King County Sheriff's Office Bicycle Enforcement Unit. So Hogue accused fellow Sergeant Dusty Davis of bullying, sleeping on the job, and abusing OT while allegedly giving extra overtime opportunities to several deputies who all lived in Idaho and commuted to King County for work. Like, I'm just going to tell you right now that that's the part that was like, wait, they lived in Idaho and commuted to King County for work? But anyway, these internal investigators reportedly found examples where the Sergeant Davis worked more than 16 consecutive overtime hours without taking a single call, and in some cases was seen back at the office in civilian clothes while assigned to supervise elsewhere. Investigators also found that Davis had subordinates approve some of his OT requests, and Metro Transit Police leadership reportedly concluded that those Idaho-based deputies were using overtime at levels, a quote, country mile beyond others in the department. But despite all that, the sheriff's office only sustained 7 of the 25 allegations, mostly for unprofessional behavior. Just 1 overtime allegation was sustained, and it was treated as a performance issue and not fraud. And in the end, Sergeant Davis got a 4-day suspension and was transferred out of the Metro Transit Police Unit. I bring all this. Well, first of all, I want to say that we have reached out to the King County Sheriff to respond to the allegations in this report, but there's a lot of things that had me scratching my head on this one.
I'm not scratching my head. And the reason why I'm not scratching my head is because here's what I've learned since doing this show with you. I've learned that, you see, verbiage, we used to it. We're okay with it. Let's be real. What is the difference between stealing and performance issues? Because this was stealing. Allegedly. Overtime fraud, it's allegedly to be stealing. But in this case, Internal Affairs looked at this, found that a deputy worked 16 hours straight without taking a call. They called it performance issues and handed him a suspension for 4 days. Now, again, I ask again, what is the difference between stealing and performance issues? Because the truth is this. Stealing is stealing, but for some reason, this isn't just King County law enforcement. This is baked in law enforcement. How many times, Ursula, have we talked about time card issues? How many times have there been caught with alleged overtime fraud? But for some reason, it is baked in where they literally get a pass. We have situations where a chief looked the other way on some of these. So miss me with I'm supposed to be upset? No, I'm not upset because we have become used to this, Ursula. Stealing versus performance issues. If I go out there and I steal right now,
you're out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
But some professions get to say performance issues.
Yes, and these are professions where you think that there would be higher standards. The other thing, and I was saying that I was scratching my head on the...
What's that?
You know, living in Idaho, working in King County, and apparently it's not against the law.
It's not. I mean...
And it's just, it's a bad look. But beyond that, I guess there's no requirement to live... Well, you cannot, by law, require an officer to live...
I'll say this.
Within the community.
If anybody's the reason why I didn't bring up that, I'm not mad at them for living in Idaho. Because if we're going to be upset about them living in Idaho, let's all be upset about anyone working somewhere and maybe not being able to afford to live there. Right? So that's the case. There's a lot of people right now that can't afford to live where they work.
It's true.
That happens, right?
It's true. I'm still not going to deny that it made me scratch my head a little bit and say, like, wow, that is a commute.
No, you're right. It was the first time I heard of it.
I think that the best officers and the best law enforcement, I believe, should be living, not necessarily, because you can't afford it, but living somewhere close to your community so you can be invested in what is going on in your community.
Yeah, think about it for anyone else, though, in public service. If they lived out of state while they're serving, like, that is terrible. That's objectively terrible that you choose not to live and invest in your own community.
It is, but it's not against the law.
I can only imagine.
Nor stealing, apparently.
I can imagine what those conversations sound like. Hey, I'm tired of the Washington politics. I want to live in Idaho. I'm going to come make my money in Washington, but I'm going back to Idaho. We got scenarios happening at 10:47. I'm glad you thought that was funny, Ursula. I didn't even plan that to you.
It's just your accents and your acting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We talking about 10:30? You want to talk about water?
We've got a few things. Yeah, we've got. How about?
We go down to Puyallup.
Should there be a minimum age to own a motorcycle?
Okay. Yeah.
Like, should the minimum age be 21?
Okay.
Since you can't buy alcohol or a handgun in our state until you're 21.
All right, let's do that. Next, Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Summer's right around the corner. Can you say World Series? I don't want to jinx anybody, and I don't want to jinx that heating system or cooling system that you have, but it could possibly out at home. So the best thing to do right now is to replace the system. You want it done right and done fast. Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Upgrade to a Lennox cooling system and get a new heating system free. Plus available utility rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
Concur Technologies seeks marketing strategy expert at our Bellevue, Washington location to lead business for assigned regions or market units to successfully monitor, manage, and optimize performance against Concur CMO scorecard metrics and other key performance indicators. Own annual pipeline modeling and target setting on behalf of supported market units. Full remote. Base salary is between $156,223 and $254,745. Health insurance, 401k, and other benefits. Located at sapnorthamericabenefits.com. Total compensation of base salary plus incentives is between $176,300 and $299,700. Apply at jobs.sap.com. Use requisition ID 452523.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. President Trump begins his trip to China this afternoon. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
This is the first visit to China by a U.S. president in nearly a decade and comes amid the U.S. war against Iran. President Trump had originally planned to travel to China several weeks ago, but postponed the trip, citing the war. Now, as the president travels amid a stated ceasefire, he plans to use this trip to discuss a wide range of issues, including trade and tariffs. In addition, the U.S. relationship with Taiwan and China's rare earth minerals are on the agenda. At the same time, Trump is expected to urge President Xi to exert pressure on Iran to end the war. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Here in Washington, Linwood is building a new bridge across I-5, hoping to reconnect both sides of the city. More from KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan.
Poplar Way runs north and south, but stops on the south side of I-5. 33rd Avenue West also goes north and south, but stops at the north end of I-5. After 2 decades of planning and fundraising, construction of a new bridge connecting the roads is now underway. City engineer David Mock.
The intersections line up perfectly, so Poplar Way will just continue the same direction heading north, and it'll go directly over I-5 and connect directly into 33rd Avenue.
It will take about 2 years to complete the project, but more than 30,000 cars a day are expected to use it once it's open. Chris Sullivan, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle's Ballard Light Rail extension is now delayed by an entire decade. Sound Transit says the project approved by voters back in 2016 will not open until 2046. The agency points to rising construction costs, design changes, and the challenge of building a new downtown tunnel as major reasons for the delay. KIRO 7 TV was at last night's community meeting.
I came here with my 3 kids. This is Rowan, and my son Kyoto's over there, and my baby Indigo. And one of the reasons we're here is because all 3 of them hate their car seats, and they love the light rail.
Sound Transit Board directors are expected to vote on the new Enterprise Initiative by May 28th. We are just 34 days away from the FIFA World Cup, and Providence Swedish is preparing its staff for any possible scenario. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has details.
At the Seattle Cherry Hill campus yesterday, the hospital practiced a patient surge drill. That's like if a mass casualty event happened at Lumen Field. They prepare for the worst case scenarios, a terror attack, a riot, a natural disaster. Dozens of volunteers with with makeup, pretended to be crowds of injured people needing help. The first responders practiced their procedures.
It's like we're hosting 6 Super Bowls in a 1-month period of time. So with that comes a higher risk level and a higher need for additional preparedness.
Wow. Well, the Versailles campus will hold another drill next week.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, a crash on I-5 northbound is causing lots of delays from Federal Way to Seattle. That drive will take you about 55 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 27 minutes right now. Heavy traffic on 405 southbound, Linwood to Bellevue. That'll take you about 45 minutes as well. Tacoma to Federal Way, about 30 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO News Radio Desk. And for your weather, it's going to be a scorcher today. We'll be close to or approach 80 degrees. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Sure appreciate you hanging out with us on what could potentially be a record-breaking hot day for this day in May. And then the weather's going to change. And I got to say, when you were doing the Would You Rather, and you were asking about the heat.
Yeah.
People think I'm nuts that I would want to stay in a stadium and watch a baseball game in 90-degree heat.
I ain't gonna. I think you're nuts too.
But I'm sticking to it.
95 degrees.
I know. I'm sticking
over the
to
rain?
it. Yeah, I'd have to bring a fan though. Yeah, and someone pointed out, people get dehydrated and have some serious issues. And I was like, yeah, maybe it needs to be 80 degrees. It would be perfect. Hey, but here's a question.
Yes.
If kids cannot buy alcohol or a handgun in our state until the age of 21,
right?
What, if any, age should be a minimum age to buy a motorcycle?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we're bringing this up because of this tragic case involving a 19-year-old motorcyclist from Sumner who was killed in a crash in Puyallup on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
The Seattle Times reports this happened around 3 in the afternoon near East Pioneer Way and Highway 512. He was riding a Honda motorcycle when he tried to change lanes and collided with another vehicle, and he died at the scene. And although he was wearing a helmet, tragically he died. And we see this far too often when you talk about especially young men who are involved in either fatal or near fatal motorcycle crashes.
Right.
So again, going back to the question, do you think there should be a minimum age?
No. The reason, when I was reading this story, Ursula, about this 19-year-old, Evan Johnson is his name, from Sumner. And first of all, prayers go out to his family. You know what, Ursula, yesterday, it reminds me of a conversation I had with my son, and I'll tell you the reason why I say no on the whole age, is my son was talking to me about how when he becomes a father that he wants to make sure that he's able to get through to his kids, because sometimes kids don't really listen to their parents sometimes.
You think?
You know?
Yeah, huh?
But and for you country folks out there, my son sent me a song that I've been listening to since yesterday. Any of you guys know who Luke Combs is, right? And Luke Combs has a song called The Me Part of You. And this song, The Me Part of You, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's about a dad that's singing to his boy that's turning 16 years old about the chances he'll take, the wrong turns he'll make, and the bones that he'll break. And that line, I mean, just it's crazy in there. I just think that all of us parents, we try to instill in our children what they should do, but a lot of times we're going to do the opposite. When my father passed away, I never got a motorcycle, Ursula, because he never wanted me to have one. Do you know my dad passed away in February 2016? Mm-hmm. Do you remember my slingshot that I used to have, the 2-seater?
Yeah.
I got that in March of 2016.
Oh.
When
so
he passed away.
You basically
I waited.
Because you knew that he would be
not happy
not
with
a
that.
fan.
So I waited for him to pass away for me to get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point that I'm getting right to is this. I don't think there should be I think the age is fine, because whether you're 23, 25.
Well, why should there be an age then to buy alcohol? Why should there be a age
I think
to
21's
buy? Good. But it could. A motorcycle, riding a potentially deadly vehicle like a motorcycle, require a little bit more. Right now, I looked actually in the state of Washington, you have to be at least 16, have a motorcycle endorsement to ride legally, have a motorcycle endorsement or permit, and under the age of 18, you also need parental consent.
How about this, Ursula? I would say that a motorcycle is more of a danger to you, the person riding it, than it is a car. A car is more of a danger to everyone else if you drive it and you're negligent. And I'm not saying that this young man was negligent or whatever, made a mistake.
No, we don't.
I'm not saying that.
At
okay,
all.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
But all right, okay, Ursula, what age?
And I'm
would you
just
say?
asking because.
What'd you say?
I would even go for the age of 18 and just make it. My sister just texted me and said, my nephew got his first motorcycle at the age of 15 and a half, but you have to be at least 16 to ride it legally.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're also supposed to, under the age of 18, you're supposed to also do an approved motorcycle safety course. And again, I just think at least more parents need to really, really emphasize to their teenagers that, this is something that it's very hard to survive when you have a very serious motorcycle crash.
I think we parents do. It goes back to that Luke Combs song that called the me part of you.
Yes.
Meaning we see
that.
in Luke Combs' song, Ursula, he talks about driving 10 and 2, and as soon as you turn that corner and I don't see you anymore, you just let it rip.
Yeah.
Ursula,
but do you agree with laws that basically acknowledge that younger people statistically face a higher risk when it comes to these dangerous kinds of things?
Yes.
For example, like riding a motorcycle, which is why we have graduated driver licensing systems for teenagers. We have the age of 18 for tobacco.
Yeah.
Again, you can tell your kids, hey, it's dangerous if you smoke or you vape or whatever. But there are minimum ages.
But this guy's 19. This young man.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking.
Just in general. Take the story out.
This is the only reason. Take that story out. And the question is.
Now, Ursula, between you and Honey, which one of you guys used to speed a lot when you were younger? That
would not be me.
You see what I'm saying?
One of us had taken a car that she wasn't supposed to. She's probably listening right now. Hi, honey. Took a car that she wasn't supposed to and crashed it. That wasn't me.
So you know what I mean? So I'm sure that Honey knew not to do that.
Yes.
She knew not to take a car.
I see what you're saying. And I don't know that what you're saying, what I'm hearing from you is you can't really govern.
No.
In this particular, but I would argue that we need to do a better job of making sure if you're going to get your kid a motorcycle at a very young age, make sure they're more prepared. Because, there's just too often I see people, and I know there are great motorcycle riders and very responsible people, but man, there's some crazy people out there.
There's not a lot of motorcycle riders that I've seen who are in their 30s doing wheelies down the freeway.
No, but I've seen the young ones
in their 20s. In their 20s, doing it. Yeah. By the way, Ursula, so 2000, I think it was 17 or whatever, I was on a 405 right there by the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, the VMAC, and there was a crash. Somebody rear-ended someone in the lane next to me. Yeah, I got rid of that slingshot. Because if that would have been me, I would have been dead. So, all right. Coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, let's do a little scenarios. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
I have a 1941 Dodge at the front of the house. And
there's a nest in there.
Wasps. Big nest.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I got 2 cans of wasp spray. I put them both on the seat, and I get a .22 rifle. Poof! Giant, cloud of fire and poison, which it did work. That seemed like something that Matt Damon, what's those movies he was in? Born Identity, a Born Identity thing.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Nobody should drink and drive. It's dangerous. Take a sip at all. Should not be driving. That's why DUI Heroes right now cares for their clients as people, individuals who have made a mistake. DUI Heroes will not treat them like a criminal. They treat all of their clients the same. All of them will be heard and for sure understood. They will be valued and they will be seen. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist, DUIHeroes.com.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
If you're a homeowner looking to replace your comfort system, there's only one call you need to make. That's to Home Comfort Alliance, especially right now. As a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, they meet the highest standards for training, installation, and customer satisfaction. John Curley here. Efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance matter. Right now, when you upgrade to a Carrier cooling system, you get a heating system free. And they make it so easy with a 60-second price estimator. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com now. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the 4 walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up at 11 o'clock, you know how we do. A lot of you all text in. Y'all really hot on this stadium stuff. So if you want to text in your opinion, because as you guys know, Seth Wickersham was on with Brock and Salk this past last week. It was actually yesterday. And he actually talked about, like, hey, one of the things that could be considered is if there's a new owner of the Seattle Seahawks, maybe they might want a new stadium. So
So as you, as taxpayers here who would allegedly benefit from a new stadium, do you want a new stadium? Are you willing to pay? Text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
I need to strike that question from the record, Your Honor. That just that question was leading right there.
No, that question is what we need to know. Like, how badly do you want the team to stay here?
Right. Whoa. Okay. All right, scenarios. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? I have been having problems finding a daycare center for my 3-year-old son. They're all fully booked and not accepting new kids. It's crazy expensive and many miles away, so it's not really practical. It's becoming a real problem for me. So a friend told me about someone she knows that operates a daycare out of her home. She made the connection. I visited. She lives in a condo. When I visited, she had 6 kids running around her house, and I asked her how many she could take on, and she says, oh, no problem. I can easily take in 4 or 5 more.
Oh, sorry.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know much about it, but I don't see how this can be legal. I asked her if she's licensed, and she says, oh, yes, of course. But is she? I looked for her online, and there's nothing about her daycare business available. It seems like it would be fine for my kid. I mean, I really liked her and all, but if she's not licensed and something happens, that could be bad, right? My husband says to not worry about it and just get our kid in. But I'm thinking I should report her or at least find out if she's legal. But then I have nowhere for my son to go and will probably have to quit my job. What should I do here? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, I'm glad you up the bat first.
Listen to your gut. Your child is the most important person. Your child's well-being and safety is paramount to anything else. The fact that your husband said just get him in there is really disappointing at the very least.
Yeah.
Your gut is telling you that something does not look right. She's in a condo, not and that there's anything wrong with a condo, but I would have questions as a potential user of this daycare center. Are the kids going to have access to outside? It is one person for 6 kids, and she said, oh, sure, I can take on 10. What are the ages of these kids? Where are they doing? Where are they going? I would have all sorts of questions, and there's no way I would put a child in there if I had any sort of reservation that she might not even be properly licensed. So the question you asked is, should I report her? I would follow up with her and say, hey, can you show me, this is obviously something that I'm concerned about, and I would want to make sure that my kid is safe. Do you have a license? Where can I find that information?
Right.
If there's everything on the up and up, that daycare owner should not worry and should tell you exactly where you can find that information. But no, I'm finding other daycare even if it means I cannot work.
Well, when my mind's telling me no and my husband is telling me yes.
I'm
Ursula,
disappointed with that husband.
You nailed it. For sure. Listen to your gut. Now, the real sticking question is, and this is the one, you come to find out she doesn't have a license.
I'm reporting it.
Okay.
Heck no.
Chef?
I'm not reporting it. I mean, we have to face the fact that there is a shortage of daycares in our state. There is a shortage of preschools, infant rooms, toddler rooms, etc. And the fact is, like, a lot of parents have to make this tough choice. And a lot of parents have no choice. They have to send their kid to whatever option is available to them, regardless of the situation. And legally, I just looked this up. you can have 10 kids for every teacher for under school age. So basically 3 years to 6 years. And it goes up to 15 if they're, school age and above. If I was in this situation and it was a matter of my wife having to quit her job and then go find a new one, or sticking our kid in a daycare where he's one of 8 kids, right, in a condo, if I'm at that income level and I don't have any other options, it sucks. But a lot of people don't have the opportunity to just say, do what's in the best interest of your kid. You might have to suck it up for a couple months and your kid goes to a situation that isn't ideal.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, but you don't get do-overs if this person is not licensed. Or is over their head and taken on more than they can chew. I don't care how desperate you are. You might have to, put the employment on hold until you can find a safe place for your child to be in. Because I want to say something about when I quickly said I would be reporting her. I would be reporting her if I thought there were violations happening. Mm-hmm. I would be reporting if I thought these kids are in danger.
Yeah.
If everyone else is fine with it, I just wouldn't put my own child in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. The biggest thing I'm going through with Ursula right now is I just want to know if anybody heard that play on a song that I did when I answered you. And I don't think many people did. But
Can you sing it again?
I think Christine in Wallingford caught it. For some reason, I think she caught it. There's a famous singer that I kind of did that when I said, my mind's telling me no, but my hubby is telling me yes, yes. Anyway. Hey, leave me alone.
Okay.
I'm just having a great day. That's all. Hey, I'm with you.
Can I mention something tragic?
Yes.
206 says, our great nephew, and I just lost it. Oh, sorry. It says our great nephew died in an unlicensed daycare. She had 16 kids under the age of 4. He drowned in a livestock trough.
Oh, man. All right. Hey,
report them.
Yeah. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we're going to be talking about that potential new stadium. Next, Gee and Ursula.
SAP America seeks services engagement expert at our Bellevue, Washington location to support a long-term customer engagement. Hybrid work model. Requires up to 60% domestic travel to SAP offices in Palo Alto, San Ramon, San Francisco, and Seattle to attend customer meetings and advise on application lifecycle management and proprietary services. Base salary is between $161,000, $138,000, and $206,640. Health insurance, 401k, and other benefits located at sapnorthamericabenefits.com. Total compensation of base salary plus incentives is between $161,000, $138,000, and $258,300. Apply at jobs.sap.com. Use requisition ID 452715.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest. So how do your management fees work? We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. We appreciate that kind of transparency. We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
KIRO FM and HD1.
This
Home of
is
CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Authorities are now looking into how security personnel at Denver's airport missed spotting a trespasser who was killed by a plane Friday night. The latest from CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Authorities say the man who was struck and killed by a plane taking off from Denver International scaled a remote fence and walked onto the runway. Sterling McLaren is the chief medical examiner for the city.
We determined the manner of death to be suicide.
She did not say what led authorities to that conclusion. No note was recovered. Airport personnel initially missed seeing the man on the runway.
The Associated Press is reporting that Marty McCary is resigning as President Trump's Food and Drug Administration head. The surgeon and health researcher's tenure had drawn complaints from health industry executives, anti-abortion rights activists, and other Trump allies. After 10 weeks of the war with Iran, the Consumer Price Index shows that inflation is accelerating. Prices rose 3.8% in April, the highest since May 2023. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The government says that the energy component of the Consumer Price Index was responsible for 40% of the overall increase. Gas is up 28.4% from a year ago. And one area that bears watching is electricity, which was up 2.1% month over month.
President Trump begins his trip to China this afternoon, where he will attend a summit with Chinese President Xi. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports.
This is the first visit to China by a U.S. president in nearly a decade and comes amid the U.S. war against Iran. President Trump had originally planned to travel to China several weeks ago, but postponed the trip, citing the war. Now, as the president travels amid a stated ceasefire, he plans to use this trip to discuss a wide range of issues, including trade and tariffs. In addition, the U.S. relationship with Taiwan and China's rare earth minerals are on the agenda. At the same time, Trump is expected to urge President Xi to exert pressure on Iran to end the war. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is back on Capitol Hill defending the Pentagon's $1.5 trillion budget request before the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Defense. The subcommittee's ranking member, Minnesota Democrat Betty McCollum, asks Hegseth if the Pentagon has a plan B to draw down troops and reset its war budget if Congress refuses to authorize continuing operations against Iran. Hegseth says there are plans for several scenarios.
Certainly in this setting, we wouldn't reveal what the next step may be, considering the gravity of the mission that the president is undertaking to ensure that Iran never has a nuclear bomb.
Stocks are mixed on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
3 King County residents are being monitored for hantavirus. But first, let's get a check on traffic on the roads. There's a crash on I-5 northbound causing lots of delays from Federal Way to Seattle. That drive still about 55 minutes. Renton to Bellevue just under 30 minutes. Heavy traffic on 405 southbound. Linwood to Bellevue. Tacoma to Federal Way, about 30 minutes. This traffic report.
KIRO News Radio. Breaking news.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. 3 King County residents are being monitored by public health officials after potential exposure for hantavirus. This is linked to the cruise ship at the epicenter of a current outbreak that's resulted in the death of at least 2 people. Seattle King County officials say the risk to the public remains low and there are no current cases here in King County. Meanwhile, an arrest has been made in the death of a popular employee at the Growler Guys in Lake City. Q was shot and killed over the weekend. According to Seattle police, detectives arrested a 20-year-old man just yesterday. Police booked the suspect into King County Jail for investigation of murder. Seattle police also arrested a suspect in last week's homicide at a Mount Baker encampment. The 46-year-old suspect was booked into King County Jail just yesterday. And the city of Seattle is now projecting an almost $500 million budget deficit over the next 3 years. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says Mayor Katie Wilson will give us a glimpse into how she plans on balancing that budget.
In an interview on the Seattle Channel, Mayor Katie Wilson said her team is looking at creating one tax.
I think capital gains tax is absolutely on the table.
And she mentioned another tax idea at a recent public Q&A at Seattle University.
If the city can do local income tax, I'm very willing to explore that.
However, Wilson says there's no silver bullet to solve her team's projected $488 million combined general fund deficits through 2029. That means, she says, budget cuts that could include laying off city workers. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The North Shore School Board has voted to end the School Resource Program Officer program at Bothell High School.
The motion fails.
Next election. This is a sham.
The decision comes after months of debate over safety, student well-being, and the role police should play on campus. The district says it will shift funding toward mental health support and other safety measures instead of renewing its contract with Bothell Police. You've heard of Amazon Prime, but now there's something called Amazon Now. For $3.99, Prime members can get groceries and household essentials delivered in 30 minutes. Seattle is among the cities where the service is available. It's also up and running in Atlanta, Dallas-Fort Worth, Philadelphia. The company is working to offer services in dozens of more cities. And for your weather today, expect a scorcher. Highs will be at or near 80 degrees. And the traffic report was brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Feel the freedom of lower energy bills this Memorial Day. Get $525 off every window, $1,000 off every door, plus 12 months zero interest financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Glad you guys are hanging out. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Ursula, you know what I was thinking about what I'm doing today?
What's that?
Well,
You just got reminded we have a meeting, a show meeting at the end of the show. Get to hang out with the boss.
Like 15, 20 minutes ago, I just asked my wife. I was like, do I have any meetings today? And she's like, nope, not on my schedule.
Well, our boss would tell you that, gee, if you looked at your phone, it should be a recurring thing.
Actually,
this is what he tells me.
Yeah. Sure.
But it's all good.
I think what I'm going to do is I got to go get a little new something for the birds. I don't have anything out there for the birds outside in the back. I need to do that.
Okay.
Because right now the birds been showing up and getting all my fertilizer on the grass.
Oh.
So I gotta get
and
some.
I know you have a beautiful backyard now, and I hope that people get a chance to enjoy. It's not going to be too hot. It is going to be warmer.
Katrina says it's going to be a scorcher.
Well, is 80 degrees a scorcher?
I should have asked her if she would rather go to a game.
95 is a scorcher. Getting close to 100 is a scorcher.
Are you changing your bet on that one? 95 degrees? Because the would you rather question was...
I still don't want to. I don't want to sit in a game in the rain.
Would you rather go to a Seahawk game in the rain or a Mariner game in 95-degree heat with no shade?
Yeah. I may regret that I came up with that answer. How's that? Okay, coming up at 11:30, we do agree to disagree, but we have so much for you, especially your feedback on some of our topics. So let's get to it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Okay, so you all know that the Seahawks are up for sale, and the team's going to get a new owner or new owners, but we're getting more of an indication that there is a potential that those new owners might want a new stadium. And that could be one of the reasons why supposedly some of the interest is a little soft, because a new stadium would be billions of dollars and the team price tag is already humongous, right?
Right.
So ESPN reporter Seth Wickersham was on Brock and Salk on 710 Seattle Sports and said this.
And so it's not inconceivable that the new owner could want a new stadium at some point, and then that's a huge expense and a huge political fight. And I do think that a roof, you can't rule it out. I mean, I think that as the NFL is looking to expand host cities for Super Bowls, Seattle could certainly be in that mix.
So, Gee, we asked our listeners, we asked you to text in or to send us emails or, reach us and tell us how you feel about the idea of a new stadium, A, and B, paying for at least part of a new stadium. And so Steve in Chicago says Chicago is going through the same. They owe $500 million on Soldier Field, and now they're potentially moving just down the road for a new stadium.
Yeah, they're going to Hammond. They're going to Hammond, Indiana. And then, you got some folks in Chicago, I got some family that's like, bye. And then you have some folks that's like, nah, I don't want them to leave. So you have that.
They're still going to be paying for a stadium that the team is not even going to reside in the same state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just reminder, we're still paying for a stadium that I believe is perfectly fine. So I just want to go on record that I am not in favor, as much as I love the Seahawks, I am not in favor of talking about a new stadium.
I want to also give people more context.
Okay.
Because some might say, I don't understand why they would want a new stadium because Lumen Field is really nice, which it is, okay? Let me just give you some more context. Right now, as far as suites, let me get to the suites part, okay? And this is where it's important. First, in the NFL, Ursula, they do a collective bargaining, right? Where a lot of the teams, they all share in the revenue, TV, all that stuff. But when it comes to in-game and stadium stuff, that goes right to the owner. So in the NFL, there is an average of 157 suites in a game, at a stadium. 157. The Seahawks have under that. The Dallas Cowboys, down at AT&T Stadium, Jerry's World, they have 360 suites at 70,000 plus a game. That comes out to be usually about $30 million a game. That $30 million for the owner does not have to be shared with the rest of the owners. That's bread, free and clear every game. So So what I'm just trying to add context and show everyone is that you have an X amount of people in the stadium. How can we maximize more money to make during the games? And the easiest way to do that is to add suites.
Okay, so I understand your math and your explanation, but I would say that given your explanation, that would be even more reason for whoever the next owner is to take it on their chin, not ours as taxpayer. Because you said they're going to be bringing in more bread. So if you want a new stadium and you want to just rake in all that cash, fund it yourself. I know it's not that easy. That's how I feel.
I have a question.
And I'm speaking for those who feel the same way.
No, and by the way, just so we're clear.
Maria from Mukilteo, she says, you've got to be kidding me. All the money problems, deficits, huge problems we have. Another new stadium is big, big BS. No.
No, just because I'm adding context, that does not mean I agree. Yep. I want you guys to know that. That's not what I'm doing. But I do want to ask you this. Because it feels like there's a shift right now. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Because usually there's always a lot of defense for billionaires. Usually on topics that we talk about all the time. Now, is it this topic, or are people starting to see and understand that usually that there's always a way for them, the big companies and everything, to just crazy make money? But I'm usually being told that I hate billionaires. So I just want to know which one is it. Is it because it's football and sports, or is it because people are starting to wake up and be like, you know what? This is starting to be something where we, the people, right? You look at Apple, you look at Microsoft, you look at Amazon, all of these big companies that have been built on the backs of people, but people are being laid off for AI.
Mm-hmm.
So the people get forgotten about. So are people starting to wake up now?
Oh, I think a lot of people have been woken up. There are a lot of people who didn't support funding Lumen Field.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people who don't support funding stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're looking at Lumen Field, which seems to be working perfectly, and I get the whole suites thing, and that always seems to be brought up when they say, we need a new stadium. Well, that's because you want to make more money. And if you want to make more money and it's going to pencil out great for you, then you fund it. And do what other owners, who is the one that someone just brought up as an example of the owner?
Climate Pledge, they bought that.
Well, there's a perfect model right there. And guess what?
This is football, though. Different beast. different beast. By the way, I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just saying that this is what it is. But again, taxes. We give them a pass. They get to pay smaller percentage and share of their tax when it comes to taxes. We've been built to just be giving them a pass on everything.
Yeah, I think they need to read the room. We're in a different time right now. We have a perfectly great stadium. We were able to have a team that was Super Bowl champs using this despite this stadium. Cameron in the 206 says, we just got a new stadium. Well, it's not that new, but it's perfect. The team ain't going nowhere. Cameron says Hawks fans will stand in front of the moving trucks to prevent it from leaving, just like in the 90s. And I believe that.
Parrish and Yelm says, gee, seriously? How does that affect the common ticket buyer? Hey, Parrish, I said this earlier, I'll say it again. Most of the time, the average taxpayer can't even afford to go to a game. The average taxpayer, they can't even go to a concert. And you're about to read that from Birch Bay?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Jan in Birch Bay says, longtime season ticket holder here, 34 years, and our tickets increased 31% this year. No special mention or notice, just the invoice for the same seats. Seems like the ownership is getting a healthy increase in revenues without adding suites. At some point, locals will be priced out. Maybe they'll need suites since none of us will pay ticket prices. I love our stadium as it is. Yeah, last time I checked, it's a perfectly good stadium.
Isn't it one of the best home field advantages in the NFL?
Yes.
It's not winning a Super Bowl despite having, a 25-year-old stadium. We won it with that stadium.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it, period.
I have yet to see a single soul on our text line or anywhere else saying, oh, yes, let's get a new stadium.
I just want to tell all the listeners and all y'all listening, I agree with y'all.
I know you don't. You're just explaining.
I want us to keep this same energy when we talk about other stuff in the future.
Yeah.
So in the future, I'm going to refer back to this topic right here.
Okay.
So maybe
go back to,
things are changing
We'll
now.
go back to May 12th. Well, John on the 425 says, you talk about Mayor Katie Wilson in Texas? Yeah, and I was belly aching about that. And you want a new $1 billion stadium in Seattle? No, John, I don't. I don't want a new $1 billion stadium. The one we have is just fine. Okay.
Oh, wait, Cash, you want to say something?
Okay. I had to use this really niche knowledge that I learned in school because I'll probably never get to use it again.
Oh.
You see what Portland did when they made their bid for a stadium for the MLB? They're going to do a jock tax, which is $800 million of their funding is approved by they're going to have executives and players be taxed when they visit the stadium and when they play there. And when people have concerts and stuff there, so that is going to be the funding. It actually comes out of the players and executives. So that's an idea as well.
Why not the owners?
Well, that sounds like a millionaire tax.
So
I
first
like
of all,
it. It's a step.
Let me just say this, Cash. I like the idea. I love the idea. That idea ain't gonna work.
No, probably not.
It ain't gonna fly. You wanna know why it's not gonna fly? Because the movers and shakers that make the decision makers won't let it fly.
Yeah. Well,
great stuff there.
Yeah, so appreciate that.
We got our blood boiling right there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's keep on moving because in the 10 o'clock hour, we talked about allegations of a couple of King County Sheriff's deputies abusing overtime while living out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a bunch of texts on that one, including 206 who says, you guys just like to put down the police an awful lot. It started with BLM and it still continues. Just so you are fully educated, the fire department has people living in Florida and Texas. I personally know 2 guys who work for local departments who commute, and I know for a fact that there are more. Just so you know, how about them?
Well, I'm going to choose Joy and tell him, you got me. I don't like cops. You're right.
Please.
People listen to the show every day. You guys know.
Someone's going to pull that out and take it completely out of context and say, see, G admitted it.
Like me.
He doesn't like, yeah, exactly. And bottom line.
If it was somebody that did it, well, go ahead.
First of all, we rarely talk negatively about police officers. And my response to this person, and for anyone who else thinks that way, is just because we criticize a very specific instance where people in law enforcement may be doing something that is actually abusing the system. Again, and I'm saying allegations, but there could be potential fraud in what we're talking about, abusing over. Are we not allowed to criticize that because they're law enforcement? And if we criticize it, does that automatically mean we are against law enforcement? I would imagine that people in law enforcement would also criticize that because it makes the rest of them look bad. Sorry, I'm like in a mood.
I see. Your gears are grinding. I see.
I'm not sure what happened.
I would ask this, Ursula. What do you want us to say to someone who, internal affairs, they discovered that they had fudged 16 hours of overtime, right? And their punishment was 4 days of suspension, and it was called performance issues. What are we supposed to do? Just be like, oh, that's normal? Is it? Is that performance issues? Is that?
Well, and 16, someone might argue, well, 16 hours of OT, I mean, that's not a big deal. But that was one of a number of different things that were brought up. And then,
you know what? Is that, okay, I want to ask you something. I believe you're right. I believe there's somebody would say, hey, fudging 16 hours of OT is no big deal. Let's just say OT is worth, it's time and a half, right? And let's say OT, I'm not the best with math. You guys got to help me out. Let's just say the OT is worth $60 an hour. So 16 times 60, y'all help me out now. 16 times 60.
It's about $1,000.
So you mean to tell me alleged stealing of $1,000 is no big deal? Is that what we're doing?
It is for a waitress if they take $1,000 out of the till, or an employee at a big box store. But in this instance, I honestly believe that there are some people who look at this kind of stuff and they say, you know what? I don't really care about that because they have a tough job, and you know what? If they get a few perks and they get to fudge on a couple hours, that's okay by me. I think there's a few people who legitimately believe that.
But I think there are people, but I don't think that they're right because how you do anything is how you do everything. And then the other part of it is we're talking about someone who concluded that the Idaho-based deputies, which, again, we made it very clear, they're not violating the law by living in Idaho and working in King County, but they were using overtime at levels that were, quote, a country mile beyond their peers. Does that make me ponder and wonder, like, hey, you know, that doesn't look good?
Especially when they're having people who are their underlings approve their friend and underling approving overtime for them.
Right.
In what kind of a world? Any job, if you're having someone who is your inferior approve your overtime, clearly there's room for abuse there.
And that should cause people to question, which doesn't mean we hate cops. We were just asking questions. I'm sorry. Someone said we didn't choose Joy Can I mention that there are going to be more drinking fountains in Seattle during the World Cup?
Say what?
There are going to be some new water bottle refill stations across downtown.
Explain that.
And it's partly about convenience for tourists and residents, but also we're getting ready for those scorching days, like the one we are going to flirt with today, and dangerous summers because, it keeps getting hotter and hotter. So the big benefit will be these are 7 new water bottle refill stations opening up across downtown. And the big benefit would be also fewer single-use plastic bottles ending up in the trash. So I'm choosing joy, and I want to end with that.
You know what? I'm going to choose joy, too.
Yeah.
You know why I choose joy?
Why is that?
Because we're getting closer. You know what we're getting closer to?
What's that?
We're getting closer to what we are. Because nobody's going to complain about free water. Nobody is going to be like, I paid for my water. I don't want people getting free water. So what I'm choosing joy about, I'm excited that we're getting closer to one day there will be free food for people.
Hey, are you team tap water or do you go for the bottled water? Because I'm all about the tap.
I'm all about the Pellegrino.
Oh, you're hoity-toity.
But we're getting close, Ursula. We're almost getting to where free food is. Hey, coming up next, agree to disagree. And no, we don't hate cops. Gee Ursula.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I looked something up the other day. I didn't even look it up. I said it in a room in my house.
Weekdays noon to 3.
And I have a smart device. And then for 3 days, everywhere, my phone, my computer at work, I see ads for that thing that I was mentioning. It was very specific.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
That's technology and AI being used to expand the reach of technology into every aspect of our lives. Everything.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy up to 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. Staples, that was easy.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain.
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
If you're a homeowner looking to replace your comfort system, there's only one call you need to make. That's the Home Comfort Alliance, especially right now. As a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, they meet the highest standards for training, installation, and customer satisfaction. John Curley here. Efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance matter. Right now, when you upgrade to a Carrier cooling system, you get a heating system free. And they make it so easy with a 60-second price estimator. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com now. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. 3 King County residents are now being monitored for possible exposure to hantavirus linked to the Honduras cruise ship. Public Health Seattle King County say 2 residents were seated near an ill passenger on a flight. Both are back home and asymptomatic. A 3rd resident who was on the cruise ship is being monitored at a national quarantine center in Nebraska. A press conference will be at noon. On the day of the deadline, hackers plan to release data of stolen from hundreds of schools and universities around the country. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the parent company of Canvas says they paid the hackers ransom.
The company behind the online learning platform Canvas says it reached a deal with the hacker group known as Shiny Hunters to delete data stolen during a cyber attack that disrupted students across the country, many of them during finals week, in exchange for cash. Cybersecurity expert Kristen Flynn Goodwin says the price tag most likely reached into the millions.
I think it's safe to say that it's 7-figure sum at least.
Last week's breach involved 9,000 schools and 275 million people worldwide, including students at the University of Washington. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Linwood is building a new bridge across I-5, hoping to reconnect both sides of the city. More from KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan.
Poplar Way runs north and south, but stops on the south side of I-5. 33rd Avenue West also goes north and south, but stops at the north end of I-5. After 2 decades of planning and fundraising, construction of a new bridge connecting the roads is now underway. City engineer David Mock.
The intersections line up perfectly, so Poplar Way will just continue the same direction heading north, and it'll go directly over I-5. and connect directly into 33rd Avenue.
It will take about 2 years to complete the project, but more than 30,000 cars a day are expected to use it once it's open. Chris Sullivan, KIRO News Radio.
If you're gearing up for the 2026 World Cup in Seattle, brace yourself. The merch is coming in hot and expensive.
It's not about the money, money, money.
FIFA just dropped its limited edition Seattle jerseys, and they'll cost you $375. The collectible jersey has drawn backlash online from critics of the pricing to the jersey being made of 100% polyester. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. A crash on I-5 northbound is finally clearing up. Now Federal Way to Seattle is about 35 minutes, Renton to Bellevue 27 minutes, and 405 Federal Way to Tacoma about 30 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Feel the freedom of lower energy bills this Memorial Day. Get $525 off every window, $1,000 off every door, plus 12 months zero interest financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. And for your weather, prepare for a scorcher today. We'll be close to 80 degrees. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Kashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Agree or disagree? Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters. But I want to ask a question before we actually officially start. Is 80 scorching weather, Katrina?
Well, for Seattle standards, I'd say yes.
Okay. And I think that's a good
especially if you don't have an air conditioner
clause that goes, this is true.
Yeah.
That's a scorcher.
So it could be rough.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
me, scorching is like 90 degrees.
Because if you ain't got an air conditioner, that's at least 2 showers you need to take. So that's a scorcher.
Minimum, yes.
And it's a scorcher in May.
By the way, Katrina, would you rather attend a Seahawk game in the rain or a Mariner game in 95-degree heat with no shade?
Seahawks game.
In the rain, I know.
Yeah.
I am the only one who's competition.
Exactly. All right.
Okay, let's get to it.
We just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
All right, a little bit earlier, we were talking about young people on motorcycles and whether they should have age limits. And I want to bring up another form of motorized vehicles that actual kids are riding around. Kids these days have tons of alternatives to bikes. Back in my day, it was bikes and skateboards, and that was about it. But
scooters.
Now, scooters, right. Yeah. But now the scooters, they have motors. So we got the e-scooters, kids on e-bikes. I don't know if you've seen the hoverboards. Those are the ones with the 2 wheels. Mm-hmm. We've got the 1 wheels that kids are on. Electric skateboards are even getting more popular. Ursula is a mom. Should kids be riding around on motorized vehicles?
I mean, should they? They shouldn't if they aren't properly equipped with helmets. Okay, in some cases, knee pads. I mean, you know
elbow guards.
Elbow guards. Uh-huh. And yeah, I get it. I sound
leather
like
chaps.
An overly protective mom. But I would love to talk to Harborview ER doctors about what they've seen in correlation with the number of people, young people who have these motorized vehicles. Because more often than not, I see the people who are scooting around, zipping around, thinking that they are invincible, and they don't take into effect that there are big cars that may not see them and may not be able to stop in time. So I went through, I mean, they didn't have everything that they have today, but when my kids were younger, I mean, they wanted things that went really fast, that were motorized, that, like we said, no. When you're an adult, you can decide whether you get it or not, but I'm not going to actually
you want to be an adult
fund
on an
this.
e-scooter.
I'm not going to fund this if I don't think that you're going to be able to be safe on it.
I can't believe, Ursula, you're bearing a lead considering what I sent you on Friday. So I have this new thing now, and I've been telling Ursula, and I've been telling everybody I know. I don't know what's going on, but pedestrians and or people on scooters have lost their damn mind. I can't tell you how many times I have almost hit someone recently. Now, we talked about this on Friday. Mm-hmm. They need to bring jaywalking back. They need to bring all this stuff back. I leave here on Friday. I have to go because I have an event. I go to the hotel. Right in front of the hotel, I sent Ursula a video. Somebody got hit right there on a scooter, right there on the corner, right in front of my hotel. Exactly what I'm talking about. Then on Sunday, I think it was, I sent Ursula another video. No, it was Saturday.
You did.
I'm in a car, and once again, somebody runs out in the street, and they're just walking.
Yeah, they're not paying attention.
They're not paying attention to nothing. So yes, I think these scooters are outrageous right now. I think there's a lot of people that are learning lessons that they didn't think that they would have to find out. I think they're not wearing helmets. I think that they believe that, I'm just on a scooter, is going to be fine. Like you said, I wish Harborview would come up with these numbers and keep bringing these numbers up. Like, put them out daily. Forget a whole year. Put them out daily. Hey, today we had 17. Today we had 9. Yes. And I don't know if you're going to let your kids have scooters, but I totally do not recommend scooters for kids, for sure. And then adults, stay away from them.
Well, I'm not going to let my kids have scooters or motorized forms of transportation, not because of the safety issue, because if you're on a bike, you can go pretty much just as fast as on one of these e-scooters. You can probably go faster downhill, actually. It's more of a fact that kids are lazy and entitled. Like, you're young, you're strong, you're fit, you should be using
Pedaling.
the power of your own dang legs to get wherever you're going. Like, you don't need $500 of equipment to be lazy. You're sitting in front of a screen all day. You don't need to have an electric motor power your form of transportation. Your buddy lives like a quarter of a mile away. You need a chauffeur to take you. You need some sort of motorized vehicle to get a quarter mile. Ride your dang bike. Adults, sure. Like the scooters are kind of a menace, but according to ER doctors, you should also not have avocados and cut them up, or have bagels for breakfast.
Oh, stop.
Because people end up in the ER because of that.
Okay, you had me until you got to that last point, because the number of avocado injuries is not as high as scooter injuries. And those high-performance scooters can actually go faster than 50 miles per hour.
The high-performance one. Have you ever seen a kid doing 50 miles per hour on a scooter?
No. But your question was...
should they be on them?
Should they be on them? I think if they're properly equipped, sure. But they need to understand the rules of the road.
All right. Well, since we're on the topic of safety, then in Yelm over the weekend there was a fire after a candle started the fire in a Yelm apartment complex, ended up exploding an air conditioning unit. Ursula, are you still team pure regular candle, or did you just use the electric ones?
There's something about the ambiance of a candle, but I am a responsible candle user, so I don't believe in having the candle burning.
Responsible gun owner.
I don't believe in the candle burning all night long. You need to make sure you put them out. But there's something really special about actually having a candle with a flame versus the little electric one. Although those electric ones, they're looking better and better. They're looking more realistic. But I still love the fragrance that is emitted from a candle with an actual wick.
Do you really?
What do you mean, do you really?
No, I
not only enjoy receiving candles and burning candles, but I sometimes give them too.
I got one for you. Them candles.
Oh no.
Those fragrances really aren't that great.
No, this is not true. You're not getting the right ones.
Most candles are awful, and 100% of them are dangerous. And if you guys are wanting fragrance in 2026, there's way more things. Like, I would say candles, as far as like, hey, gee, what could make my house smell better? I would say candles rank at the bottom of things that you can use.
You're bougie and you get that thing that's like hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
You don't even have to get that.
I know.
The vast majority of scented candles are garbage.
Ursula,
you just don't know my candles.
All right.
That's what Gwyneth said.
Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by. Gee Ursula.
Hey, it's John Curley. If you're having joint pain, this will interest you. This Wednesday night at 6, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen really good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar this Wednesday night at 6. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
Boost your team's productivity and morale with this workplace tip from Cintas. A well-maintained uniform helps your team look and feel more professional. Don't leave their appearance to chance. Let Cintas handle your team's uniforms. With their Apparel Plus program, Cintas picks up, launders, and delivers fresh work apparel back to you, so your employees focus on doing their jobs, not their laundry. Learn more about Apparel Plus at Cintas.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain. Highway, all season and all weather. So go ahead, explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Our good friend Cretia from Marysville, Ursula, said, all right, G, I got to ask, what expensive scent? Well, I got the one, they got the Aroma 360 has a deal where it's, I had it connected. It goes right to my furnace, and it goes through and it does the entire house. So I can pick the different, like if you go to hotels, you can get the Aria.
You smell like bougie lobbies.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stick to my little fragrance coming from it, being emitted from that little candle wick. And I realize not all candles are great. Some people are worried about my health, but I'm going to be okay with the candles that I choose.
Joe in the 253 said, G making me want to fight right now. Just kidding, but seriously, I love candles.
Right? And if you want to get in the mood, what's going to get more in the mood?
Not candles. Not candles. Hey, by the way, speaking of...
just blowing in that air from the 360?
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm glad you talked about that because I'm going to say something that I've never said before in my life.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Ursula.
Yeah.
Picture this.
Yes.
You just asked everybody, what's going to get you in the mood? Example.
In a good mood.
In a good mood, right?
Okay.
But let's just say hypothetically, the first time you go to their house and in their bedroom and they have a candle. And all of a sudden, when you get in there, it's not a new candle, it's an old candle. The candles are
and your brain is going like, when did this person light up this candle? And what were they doing? Is that what you're saying? Gee. I'm beyond that point in my life.
All right.
It's just for my pure enjoyment.
Oh, man.
How's that?
Oh, okay. What we got next?
Oh, my word. Okay. Wait a minute.
A potential new Seahawks owner will likely...
go ahead.
Will likely want a new stadium. 425 says, a new stadium in Bellevue or somewhere on the east side would be pretty nice. You want a good owner, good team? They need to be making money?
Keep going, G, because I don't see my text messages.
Oh, yes! For the first time in Gee Ursula Show history.
Absolutely.
Victor says, I think most of the nation is waking up to these millionaires and billionaires and want to be a trillionaire that's not about them. None of us are going to survive in this world if just about the 1%. Great text, Victor. Rosemary in Auburn says, so the billionaires want a new stadium to capitalize on money from suites. Meanwhile, as the companies wanting to build their data centers, they pay an owner $2,400 for the land they need. Criminal. Oh, y'all waking up now. Y'all waking up.
CH in the 206 says, roof or not. Seattle weather in February is no good. They tried that in Detroit, did not work for fans. NFL is not going back there.
North Shore School District drops SRO at Bothell High School. Al in Seattle says, why are you talking about school resource officers like they're school counselors? All the problems you're talking about, that's what counselors are for, not police officers.
The SROs do play a different role. But if you don't think that there are kids who use them as pseudo school counselors, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
A. B, this one in particular in Bothell has been there for at least a decade. This is a program that they've had. I mean, parents were begging them. So we are going to be reaching out to Bothell or the North Shore School District to find out why they made this decision. It was a 4-1 decision last night. A lot of passion before that.
What you got next?
Okay, should kids have to be 18 or 21 years old to legally drive a motorcycle? 206 says, when my son told me he was thinking about getting a motorcycle, I asked to look at his license, and after looking at it, I handed it back and I said, good, you're an organ donor. He thought about that and he changed his mind.
Oh, that's good.
That is a good one.
360 says definitely no age limits for motorcycles. My kids grew up on motorcycles with me. They both have their endorsements and bought motorcycles when they were 17. I think if they buy a motorcycle under 18, they need to go through a motorcycle safety course.
And that actually is the law anyway. I would assume that most people do that. Josh in Auburn says, if a biker hits my truck and becomes a fatality and I did nothing to cause that wreck, but they chose to split lanes or wipe out in front of me, and I can't stop in time while they're being reckless, I would be traumatized.
King County Sheriff's deputies accused of overtime fraud while living in Idaho. 206 says, hey, it's common for firefighters to live in other states too.
And if I say that I think it's cool, I mean, I understand if it's Boise to Spokane.
Yeah.
It's not, or, not that far, let's just say. But when you're talking about living in Idaho and you're living in King County, I don't like that for firefighters either.
No.
206 says, I work for the State Department of Transportation on the Olympic Peninsula doing road maintenance. We have high-ranking administrators and HR officers who live out of state. I know one who lives in Idaho and one who lives in Missouri. This is not right. They don't contribute to our community, and they don't pay state taxes.
206. I agree with you. In the words of the great philosopher Ursula, 1,000%. For real. Well, no, I agree with that.
Exactly. And then, that doesn't mean we hate firefighters.
Right.
That doesn't mean we hate state administrators.
Well, Okay,
yeah.
All right, Ursula, let's get to it. Let's get to them good old words to live by. What you got?
I love this. Just continuing on our theme. Every day you have two choices: to focus on what's wrong or to embrace what's right.
Mm-hmm.
Choose gratitude. Choose joy. Choose to see the beauty in the little things, then life will become even more incredible than you ever imagined.
It's good stuff.
We every day tell ourselves we are so glad that we're choosing joy.
Choosing joy. Okay. Before we got a little bit of time, 206, this is Armand from Sunset Hill, says, I'm an interior designer. Good scented candles are great.
Yes.
It is an easy way to enhance the homey vibe, they said.
Thank you.
I don't know if they meant home vibe, but they do say homey vibe.
No,
homey vibe to a house.
Comfortable.
I'm not talking about supermarket candles.
No.
Also, you don't want your house smelling like a hotel. Hotel is commercial space. Your home is a residence.
There you go. See,
hey,
you need that
Armand.
homey vibe.
Hey, Armand.
I'm with you,
I
Armand.
was going to put your name in the system. I'm not even putting your name in the system now.
I will. That'll come up right next.
All right, so... But did you get my point about what I was saying about the candles?
No, I do. My mind would probably wander if it was like a well-used candle.
Yeah.
And it lit up too easily. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ursula. Good show today. Way to choose joy. Cash, always appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
By the way, I just like saying your name, dog.
I know.
Yeah.
And he does. You
do a great job, too, Cash.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Matter of fact, Andrew, one of y'all bosses asked me, he was like, how's Cash doing? I said, Cash Money?
Yes,
Cash
fantastic.
Money, that's my dog. Thanks, man. Are you here tomorrow?
No, I'm not. I got tomorrow off. I have to say, too, by the way, your shirt is incredible. I'm staring at it all day.
It actually really is.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it. I love it.
If anyone's not watching on YouTube,
Give my good
that's
side.
a really good looking shirt.
I appreciate y'all. All right.
Okay, we'll do this tomorrow.
Hey, tomorrow we're going to choose joy again.
Yep.
By the way, if you've been listening to the show, have you guys noticed a topic that we stayed away from the last 3 weeks? If you have, just text in and let us know. Hey, we'll do this again tomorrow. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perongo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
With summer right around the corner, Valentine Roofing's schedule is filling up fast. Jake Skorheim here. I want to give you 3 reasons why you should pick up the phone and call Valentine today. Number 1, there's still time to beat the summer rush and get your roof started in as little as 3 weeks. Number 2, when the nice weather hits, you'll be enjoying your backyard instead of worrying about your roof. And 3, with the increased cost of crude oil, material prices going up, shipping prices going up, lock in your price now before the market absorbs all those price increases. Call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprises, just a clear estimate you can trust. And once you choose Valentine Roofing, here's what you can expect. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. That's the Valentine experience and the reason that they were awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. Call 206 Roofing today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam.